Are you ready?
Adams Cable Sports presents a key matchup in Division III of the Lackawanna Football Conference. It's the Carbondale Area Chargers against the Susquehanna Sabers. Brought to you by Adams Cable Service, Nick's Excavating and Paving Carbondale, Redden's Drug Stores of Halstead and Susquehanna, by Main Street Sunoco Carbondale, Tom's Floor Shop Main Street Childs, Beston's Body Shop and Collision Center Carbondale, NJS Systems and Controls Route 6 Mayfield. Carbondale area versus Susquehanna is also brought to you by Lawrence A. Gabriel Funeral Homes, with locations at 74 North Main Street and 2 Hospital Street, Carbondale. By your Napa Auto Parts Store, Tonkin Auto Supply, Carbondale. White's Crossing Sports Shop. Fig Lamini Drugstore, Carbondale, locally owned and trusted since 1929. McGovern Insurance Agency, Carbondale. Jerry's Tire and Auto Service, Carbondale. Your starting lineups are brought to you by Roselle Department Store, Carbondale. It's time to kick off high school football between Carbondale area and Susquehanna. With a pregame show in the call of today's game, here's Nick Homick, Glenn Muskowski, and Steve Young. Guys.
Welcome to another edition of Adams Cable Channel 7 High School Football. It is Week 9 and a very big game for the Susquehanna Sabers as they come in with a record of 6 wins and 2 losses, Glenn, and Division III implications are riding on this game tonight.
Well, they're doing a great job this year with a 6-2 record, Steve, but Carbondale could be the spoiler this year. Last year they came in, they went strong, they beat them pretty handily. This year the tables are turned. They're playing, Susquehanna's playing very, very good football, and you know they run that option stuff, and if Carbondale can defend it, this could be a good game.
Well, Carbondale played their best half of football at Old Forge last week, so this could be a dandy.
Yeah, it certainly can, Steve, and you know the kids from Carbondale are getting better and better each week, and Coach Gabriel's pretty satisfied with them, but I'm sure Coach Cook is ready for this one.
Well, it is the high-powered offense of Susquehanna going up against the Carbondale area Chargers next on Adams Cable High School Football.
Everyone is looking for ways to save money today. The total home packages from Adams Cable Service are a great way to do that. Starting at $66.99 per month, you get cable, high-speed internet, and unlimited phone service. You are probably paying that much for one service right now. Call Adams Cable Service today and ask about the total home packages with cable, internet, and phone starting at $66.99 per month. Adams Cable Service has a package to meet your needs, and it's the smartest way to save money. Call Adams today. Improve the appearance of your property with the help of Nick's Excavating and Paving of Carbondale. Nick's Excavating and Paving provides the highest quality service in residential and commercial excavating, paving and seal coating, demolition, land clearing, foundations, driveways, sidewalks, and utility lines. Nick's Excavating and Paving also delivers sand, stone, topsoil, and mulch. For prompt professional service, call Nick's Excavating and Paving Carbondale. Redden's Drug Stores in Halstead and Susquehanna are proud supporters of Susquehanna Saber football. Redden's Drug Stores, your hometown pharmacy since 1916, is open 6 days a week with a licensed pharmacist on duty to answer any questions you may have about medications. Go to reddensdrugstore.com for special web offers and unique gift ideas. Good luck, Sabers, from your friends at Redden's Drug Stores in Halstead and Susquehanna.
We're here with head coach Larry Gabriel III of Carbondale area. Coach, you're playing a Susquehanna team that's loaded with offense, and they run that offense to the tilt. Question, how do you defend that, and how are you going to approach this type of game?
Well, defensively, we have to make sure we just play our assignment. That's tough with a young team to realize you have one job on every down regardless of what you see. But it's not so much the option that concerns me tonight as the players that are running the option. We think we have a handle on how to slow it down, but they have dynamite offensive players, and that's what makes it difficult to stop.
You know, and it's true because, you sometimes if you're with an experienced team, you may not know where that ball is. And we've learned that in the past with Dick Bagnall up there also. Now, looking at the end of the season, what are some of the teams? Who are some of the teams you think are going to be strong in the Lackawanna League in the playoffs?
I think Dunmore right now is the best shot at making some noise toward a district title, but there's so many good teams right now that are pretty much equal. AA is right now a rat race to see who's going to get there. There's about 7 or 8 teams that have a shot, but right now Dunmore has set themselves above everybody else so far through the first 8 weeks.
Okay, well, good luck to you tonight, and have a good game. We're here with head coach Kyle Cook of the Susquehanna Sabers. Coach, last year your team was on the verge of having a great year. We did a couple of your games. They were tremendous. But quite honestly, you didn't quite finish some of the games. What has changed this year?
With the offseason, making the playoffs last year really helped. Even though we didn't finish strong, we lost our last 3 games. It put a little energy into the guys for this upcoming season. They hit the weights hard. They worked out hard. They were around for all summer workable So I think we're healthier this year. We're stronger, which the weight room I think will help with our injuries later in the year. So I think that's what helped. And we were a little young last year, banged up. We lost 3 or 4 starters the last couple games, so that hurt a lot. But I think we're just a lot stronger this year from the weight room.
Well, growing pains last year and experience this year.
Yes, exactly.
All right, now I hate to ask you this question, but if you win this game tonight, you put yourself in a great position. Some comments about that.
Obviously, we come into this game, we need to win this game first. And I told that kids all last week. They look and see Old Forge on the schedule, and they see Carbondale, and they think things. But we try to keep them focused on Carbondale. We worked hard this week. We want to make it through tonight healthy, get a win tonight, and put us in a great position for next Saturday. Old Forge would have to come to us, and it'd be for the division title, which would be huge. We haven't had anything like that since 2010. So we're looking forward to tonight, but obviously it's on our schedule. We know what's coming. So
okay, Coach, and don't worry about it. We don't worry about a thing. We're expecting a great game from your team. Have a good one.
All right, thanks.
School football.
When your car does this, call us first. Every job is perfect or it doesn't leave the shop. That's the motto at Beston's Auto Body and Collision Center in Carbondale. In an accident, remember, it is your car and your choice to choose your repair center. Call Beston's Auto Body and Collision Center in Carbondale, well known for integrity, safety, and craftsmanship. For more information concerning your rights and the 10 things you need to know before having your car repaired, go to their website, bestonsautobody.com. Good luck to all area teams from Tony, Mike, Jeff, and the staff at Beston's Auto Body and Collision Center, Gordon Avenue, Carbondale.
The action continues from the 50-yard line with Nick, Glenn, and Steve on Channel 7 High School Football.
Welcome back to the Andrew J. Serra Sports Complex in Carbondale with Glenn Muskowski and Nick Homick. Steve Young here with you for Lackawanna Football Conference Division III action between the Susquehanna Sabers and the Carbondale Area Chargers. And Nick, you talk about this Veer offense, and you're very familiar with it. How do you defend it?
Well, the Veer is just a lot of misdirection. They really starts with the dive back or the fullback. They fake either belly into the line, or the quarterback pulls it out. He has the option to pitch, or he can even keep it, or even in some of the more experienced quarterbacks like Austin White, can pull that ball back out of any of the bellies and throw a little pass to the back end of the defense, which really is a lot of thinking by defenses.
So you really have to be disciplined if you want to defend the Veer.
Oh, most definitely. You have to be alert for the ball coming any which direction at any time.
So we will have your starting lineups for today's ball game, brought to you by Roselle Department Store in just a moment. It looks as though the Carbondale Area Chargers will receive. As Susquehanna won the toss, they have deferred until the second half. So good football game here in Carbondale as the Chargers are coming off a pretty good performance against the Old Forge Blue Devils last week, although we had a loss. And now we will have a moment of silence for the late Jim Miller.
This past week, the Carbondale Area Charger football family suffered the loss of legendary head coach James E. Miller. Before coming to Carbondale area, Coach Miller attended West Scranton High School and Indiana University, where he attended on a football scholarship, playing center and linebacker for the Hoosiers. Coach Miller came to Carbondale area in 1969 and was a faculty member for 36 years. Coach Miller was head football coach here at Carbondale area from 1969 to 1978. and 1982 and 1983. Coach Miller was also a PIAA football official for 36 years as a member of the Scranton Chapter of Officials. In honor of Coach Jim Miller, we ask you to join us in recognizing him in a moment of silence. Thank you. Please stay standing for the playing of the national anthem.
Here are the starting lineups for today's game, presented by the legendary Main Street landmark in Carbondale, the Roselle Department Store, where you're invited to stop in and check out the new line of fall and winter apparel on display for the upcoming holiday shopping season. At Roselle Department Store, you'll find an extensive supply of school uniforms for Lakeland, Carbondale area, LaSalle Academy, Holy Cross, Forest City, and Valley View. Attending a formal affair? Always look your best with the latest fashion ideas by Sarno & Son, and as always, a perfect fit every time. Roselle and Carbondale now offers fast, reliable laundry and dry cleaning services. You can depend on Roselle Department Store for unsurpassed quality, style, value, and personalized service. Sam Kalura and the staff at the Roselle Department Store are proud to bring you the starting lineups for today's game between the Susquehanna Sabers and the Carbondale area Chargers. And teeing up the football for the Susquehanna Sabers is Steve Jess, a 5'11", 160-pound senior. And 2 are deep for the Carbondale area Chargers. And that will be Bradley Sales along with Jason Jablanowski. And here we go with week number 9 of Adams Cable Channel 7 High School Football, Susquehanna and Carbondale area. And Steve Jess, boy, he could really kick the football. And Nick, you can attest to that. You were watching him in pregame warm-ups. Yeah, he could really kick that football.
Now that we put the jinx on him here.
Yeah, he'll probably go with he'll probably end up with a squib kick, right?
No, but he was bombing them from about 30, 35, 40, 41 yards consistently in warm-ups.
Here's the kickoff by Jess. And this will be a high spinner. And Jablanowski, I believe, is going to pick it up on the far side of the field, dancing around, looking for running room, and takes the football, breaks it, and he's still on his feet. And here he comes, near side of the field, up across the 45 at midfield. And he may go all the way. And he will be still on his feet and then tackled at the 10-yard line.
What a great run by Jablanowski. Almost tackled twice in that pile over there in front of the Susquehanna bench, and came out and down to the 10-yard line, 11-yard line?
10 or 11, yeah.
Wow.
So we'll run down the Carbondale area offense for you, brought to you by Roselle Department Store. Chris Larson at tight end, Jablanowski at split end, Pete Sod at left tackle, Guy Higdon at right tackle, Jeff Arthur at left guard, Tyler Duell at right guard, Andrew Larson at center, Jordan Tallarico at quarterback, Dominic Gelati at fullback, Brad Sales lines up at tailback, and Sean Bolinas gets the start at flanker. It is first down and 10, Carbondale area from the Susquehanna 11. Sails on a pitch out, and he is hemmed in as the Susquehanna Sabers smother him back near the 18-yard line. Defensively for Susquehanna, brought to you today by Roselle Department Store. At left end, it's Christian Miller. Wes Richardson at right end. Mike Vaccaro at left tackle. Willard Cobb at the right tackle. Luke Brinton at nose guard. Austin White and Zach Conrad are the linebackers. Craig Stanley at left corner. Nolan Hauser at right corner, Austin Felter at strong safety, and Brady Towner at free safety. 2nd and 13 for the Chargers from the Susquehanna 14-yard line. As Tallarico will operate out of the gun, loses the football. He's going to have to fall on it. That's a wise move by Jordan Tallarico. And Carbondale loses tremendous yardage and really putting themselves behind the 8 ball on the first possession of the ball game.
That play, I think, was designed to go as a direct snap to the running back, and he didn't. He didn't take it.
Well, that's boy, you really have to be confident in that play, especially that deep in your own territory.
And it wasn't a bad snap. It was just, I think there was a miscommunication of who was getting the ball.
So Carbondale had the ball at the 11. And right now, the spot of the football will be at the 31-yard line and bring up third down and 30 for Carbondale area. As Tallarico this time will come up under center with Jablinowski going in motion. And off the fake, Tallarico to throw. And oh boy, this play goes nowhere. Susquehanna read that and was all over it as Sales got belted. No chance for Brad Sales on the little screen pass out in the flat.
Well, everything just dismantled for Carbondale after that kickoff return. But that's the way it goes sometimes with an inexperienced team.
Jablinowski drops back to punt, and this will be a pretty good punt as he will let it roll, and Carbondale will down the football just inside the 5-yard line. Good job by Jablinowski to keep it out of the end zone. And this will pin Susquehanna deep in their own territory as they will start this drive from their own 4-yard line, first down and 10.
Well, field position, if Carbondale could stop Susquehanna now, they'll again get field position, but they're going to have to be on their toes for this veer-type offense.
As the Sabres will talk things over in the huddle and approach the line of scrimmage. On first down and 10 from their own 4-yard line, Austin White, the senior quarterback, will survey the Carbondale defense. And it will be Felter going in motion. And the running attack will go nowhere. And it looked like Austin White on a keeper trying to go right up the middle and just got back to the line of scrimmage for no gain on the play.
I would expect to see a lot of the dives right here, and White just keeping it himself. I wouldn't really, think about seeing too many pitches.
Playing it safe.
Yeah, especially this deep in your own territory. See if you can get a little bit of field position back.
We are scoreless with 8:51 to play here in the first quarter. Great to have you on board here tonight on Adams Cable Channel 7 as White will come up under center once again, and he will spin and hand it off, and this time it looked like Felter getting the call, and he was strung out on the play. Dom Gelati, the middle linebacker, only a sophomore at 5'6" and 190 pounds, leading the way with the pursuit for the Carbondale defense.
Well, the swarming defense for Carbondale so far, first 2 plays, but very basic plays, as you said, Nick. They have to play it safe down there, and there's not a lot of options for the option, I guess.
well said, Glenn.
That's well said, Glenn.
Very well said.
Third down and 8 for Susquehanna from their own 6-yard line. As White will set them down, and White, will he keep? Yes, he'll keep and go off the right side and carries the football across the 10 out near the 13-yard line. As he went off right tackle behind the blocking of Logan Conrad and Willard Cobb. And right now, it will be fourth down and, fourth and short.
They got a call for measurement, I think.
This might be closer than we thought originally.
But right now you're seeing the effects of what that veer can do. Even as simple as plays as this dive and a keep, which you see a lot. The veer in a way, is what you're seeing a lot in college football right now with these offenses where these quarterbacks, these spread-style offenses, when a quarterback gets a lot of carries, just as many carries as he does at passing attempts.
Fourth down.
Fourth down and
inches.
And about a foot. And I don't know if Kyle Cook is going to gamble right here.
Look to draw Carbondale offside, maybe?
Possibility. Scoreless here in Carbondale with 7 minutes and 38 seconds to play in the first quarter. Carbondale got the ball on its first possession at the Susquehanna 11-yard line after a great kickoff return by Jablanowski, but could not do anything with it. They came away with no points, actually lost a lot of yardage, and right now Susquehanna will talk it over on fourth down and a yard to go from the Saber 13-yard line, and they will roll the dice as they come to the line of scrimmage. White will come up under center. And White will now get under center and go with a long snap count. And he goes on a keeper and falls forward, and it looks as though he will have the first down.
Well, that's confidence in your offense.
That sure is.
Number 14, Austin White.
And confidence in your defense, right?
First down.
Well, why not? You have limited Carbondale to what, minus 30 yards on the first possession?
Well, on the season, you are only giving up about 13 points a ball game, so Susquehanna will sustain the drive from its own 15, first down and 10. As senior quarterback Austin White will go on a pitch to the near side. Here it comes, and this is Felter with a lot of running room, first down and more across the Saber 35 to the 37-yard line. Well, that's how dangerous this Susquehanna football team can be.
They are quick, and they run that offense to perfection. That's a 22-yard gain for Felton.
And they also have a few starters out of the ball game for this matchup against the Carbondale area Chargers. Earlier in the week, Kyle Cook gave me one lineup on the line of scrimmage and then made the changes today. So this is not their usual starting offense. First down and 10 with the exception of the backfield, as this pitch will go nowhere as Susquehanna tried to turn the corner with Nolan Hauser, and he was shut down right at the line of scrimmage.
On the stop for Carbondale.
A good pursuit by the defense of Carbondale that time, and a nice, kind of like an open field tackle there.
Well, Susquehanna right now controlling the football on second down and about 9 from the 39-yard line of the Sabers. And here they come to the line of scrimmage. Austin White, third in Division III in passing this season and third in Division III in rushing coming into this ball game. And White will go on a keeper, turns it upfield, and then is gang tackled by a host of Chargers at the 43.
Got to be careful here if you're Carbondale, especially with your perimeter guys and your ends and corners. You know, he's lulling you to sleep a little bit with those keepers inside the tackles and the dives, but now one of these times he's just going to pull that back out and pitch.
Under 5 minutes to play, first quarter, scoreless ball game here in Carbondale, third down and 4. The Susquehanna Sabers on the move from their own 43-yard line.
Nick, it's all about keys for the defense.
Yeah, absolutely. And, you know, a lot of teams in the past have, you know, kind of just thrown the pass out to say.
Craig Stanley, a wide out on the far side, and they will go to that point, and the pass is incomplete.
And right on cue, as I say, a lot of teams don't just say, you know, the heck with the pass against Susquehanna. There they are.
Kyle Donovan, the intended receiver, only a sophomore, the tight end, and the pass falls incomplete. It is fourth down and 4, and the punting unit will come on for the Susquehanna Sabers. Eric Peters will drop back in punt formation, and it will be Jablanowski awaiting the punt, standing at his own 14-yard line.
Number 11, Jason Jablanowski back to receive for Carbondale.
Bit of a high snap, but Peters will shank this one a little bit. And a very, very short punt bouncing around, and it's down. Oh, boy, that's dangerous.
Who's that?
And you have a flag down over here, too. Line of scrimmage.
Something pointing towards Susquehanna.
Illegal formation, 5 men in the backfield on the offense. That penalty is refused. To be first down, Carbondale.
Hey, we got the officials' mics working tonight.
Well, we missed that the game. We didn't have it.
Offense takes over first down and 10 from the 45.
Well, that's great to have in high school football, isn't it?
Steve, at least they got the officials' mics working. Now, if we could figure out what happened to our phone line.
Yeah, we got here and we had
Maybe
no.
that's why it's working so
Yeah,
good.
we had. Well, something has to work here. So, first down and 10, Carbondale from its own 45-yard line. In a scoreless first quarter of football, as Sales takes the handoff and, boy, goes right up the middle for some good yardage across midfield into Saber territory.
Well, that's a typical Sales run with Brad. He's just catching the ball, and he's at full tilt as soon as he hits the line of scrimmage. Picked up a solid 8 yards on that run.
Now possesses great speed, has run for 650 yards, and has scored 36 points this season for the Chargers. Second down and 2 for Carbondale area from the Saber 46. Tallarico set to work the offense. And he will hand it off, and this running attack is going to be very close to a first down. Gelati getting the call. And initially, guys, it looked as though he was going to be stopped at the line of scrimmage, but a good second effort gives him the first down.
And
that's Carbondale's first down of the game.
So Carbondale area last week played a great first half against the Old Forge Blue Devils, their best first half of football this season. Unfortunately, miscues in the second half led to a lot of turnovers, and Old Forge running away with the game as Sales takes the handoff and then draws a crowd after a short gain.
Old Forge is that kind of team. They just find a way to
They
win.
take advantage of mistakes.
Number 22,
And good football teams do that.
Yeah, they just find a way to win by any means necessary.
Wes Richardson makes the tackle for the Susquehanna defense.
But I think Coach Gabriel came out of that game with a lot of positives, and I think he made the comment to us just before the game, Steve, that his team grew up a little bit.
Well, that's what you need. You know, you need to find your identity, and from that point on, usually that's when you turn the corner and there's movement on the line. As the officials will talk it over.
Dead ball. Ball start offense. Second down.
A lot of other games going on tonight. Lackawanna Trail at Mid-Valley, Dunmore at Montrose, Lakeland at Riverside. That's a big game. Lakeland needs to win out and then have some help if they hope to reach the District 2 playoffs. Valley View at West Scranton, and how about this one, guys? Honesdale at Western Wayne.
Well, there's what do they call that game?
The Wayne Pike Shrine Bowl.
There you go. That's a war, and it always is.
Whoa, there's a bad snap. Sales will pick it up, and Sales tries to turn it around the far side of the field and then is caught there by the Saber defense.
I think Coach Gabriel's been watching some Canadian rules football again. That was an interesting formation.
Well,
fortunately, Sales was calm and cool when that ball went over his head and was able to pick it up. And Carbondale will keep the football, but now face third down and 18.
Yeah, with that Canadian football, everybody's in motion, even the announcers.
I tried watching it the other night. It was 3 guys in motion at once.
With the football in Saber territory, Carbondale will face third down and 18 as Sean Bolinas will be a wide out on the near side. Jab Lanowski on the top of your screen. And Tallarico now will work out of the gun. Sales coming in motion, and we have a timeout call by Carbondale area. With 1 minute and 9 seconds left in the first quarter, we're scoreless here in Carbondale on Adams Cable High School Football.
What does it mean to be an expert? Does it mean getting the job done right? Or being able to pinpoint a problem and quickly find a solution? Whatever the meaning, the team in NJS are your experts in hydraulic and pneumatic components. So whether you need a custom hose built on the spot or a cylinder repaired from the ground up, the experts at NJS are there when you need them. And with the area's largest hose and fittings warehouse, NJS has thousands of the parts you need in stock and ready to go. NJS Route 6 Mayfield, online at njsco.com. NJS is proud to call this area home and proud to sponsor our area athletes on Adams Cable Channel 7.
Back to the gridiron for more Adams Cable High School football.
With Glenn Muskowski and Nick Homick, Steve Young here for Week 9 of high school football, Susquehanna and Carbondale area. Chargers took a timeout to talk it over. 3rd down and 18, Carbondale area from the Saber 49-yard line. And here we go as Tallarico will come up under center. And Tallarico will fire the pass. That's behind the line of scrimmage. Jablanowski has to fall on it. It's loose, and Susquehanna will have it at the 38. And that was Austin White recovering for the Susquehanna Sabers. So a pass behind the line of scrimmage, and Jablanowski could not come up with it, could not fall on it. White was right there to recover, and Susquehanna will have excellent field position now as they will take over possession. 1st down and 10. Let's check the spot. It will be at the 38-yard line. Well, Nick, they had a lot of receivers on the near side, and you knew it was a passing formation, but unfortunately, Carbondale turns it over.
Yeah, those are the types of plays you roll the dice, and sometimes you come out smell like a rose, but that time you didn't.
White, does he hand it off?
Yeah.
Sabers try to go off right tackle and maybe pick up just a couple.
On the tackle for Carbondale.
That was Richardson on the
Wes Richardson, the 5'9", 198-pound junior, getting the call. Now keep in mind, Brett Hepler, one of their key players coming out of the backfield, is not in the lineup tonight.
He's a name that's been
he was around since Dick Bagnall, when Dick Bagnall coached, I believe. Remember calling his name when Coach Bagnall was the head coach. 2nd down and 10, the Sabers from the Carbondale 38. And this will be White keeping the football and going right up the gut of the Carbondale defense.
good for 1st down for White, an 11-yard gain.
Boy, White really is the guy who makes it happen. Having a great year rushing, passing for a total of 6 touchdowns. He has scored 8 rushing touchdowns. And now we have a time at the end of the first quarter here at the Andrew J. Serra Sports Complex in Carbondale. It is scoreless between the Sabers and the Chargers on Adams Cable High School football.
And that ends the first quarter.
Lawrence A. Gabriel Funeral Homes, located at 74 North Main Street and 2 Hospital Street, Carbondale, offer all types of funeral services. In your time of need, call 282-1219 for the ultimate in professional service. From Lawrence A. Gabriel Jr., family, and staff, good luck this season to our local athletes and teams.
Enjoy the feel of deep, rich luxury. Get the drama of radiant color and experience the timeless beauty, comfort, and durability of carpeting from Tom's Floor Shop in Childs. Tom's Floor Shop offers a large selection of hardwood, laminate, vinyl, ceramic tile, and carpeting on display in their showroom. Rely on Tom's Floor Shop for expert installation. All roads lead to where great floors begin at Tom's Floor Shop. Exit 6 off the Casey Highway in Childs. Now, back to more action with Nick, Glenn, and Steve on Adams Cable High School football.
Welcome back to the Andrew J. Serra Sports Complex in Carbondale. The second quarter about to get underway, and we are scoreless in this Week 9 matchup between the Susquehanna Sabers and the Carbondale area Chargers. And it will be the Susquehanna Sabers in possession of the football, 1st and 10 from the Charger 27.
Well, Steve, Susquehanna is just a bit like off kilter a little bit with their offense, but Carbondale's playing it pretty tough defensively. Look for Susquehanna to break one here eventually.
And it will be White under center. White back to throw with time. Pump fake and flushed out of the pocket. Fires downfield. Pass is complete. And it is down to about the 8-yard line.
Got a fumble here.
Loose ball. Looked like Austin Darrow, 6'4" senior, the intended receiver. And
recovered by Susquehanna.
And Susquehanna will keep it. As soon as Darrow got the football, he drew a crowd from the Charger defense, and the ball was loose momentarily, but Susquehanna recovers. So they dodge a bullet, and right now they are in excellent field position. First down and goal from the Carbondale area 9. Boy, Darrow is a huge target at 6'4" and 189 pounds. So for Austin White, he rolls out and buys a little bit of time. He could just put that ball up high, and Darrow seems to have good hands. He'll be a wideout on the near side on this play, as the handoff will come to the near side, and the Susquehanna, another loose ball, and Carbondale has it at the 2-yard line. The Susquehanna Sabers coughed it up, and Carbondale recovers.
Well,
nothing against the recovery guys, but if he was another 2 feet in the end zone, it would have came out to the 20. Well, you'll take it either way, I'm sure.
Definitely. You want that football. So Susquehanna was threatening, and boy, you have to wonder now. You know, the Susquehanna Sabers know how important this game is, and what could be at stake next week if they win. You wonder if they're thinking ahead a little bit.
And it's 1st and 10 from
as this Carbondale area football team is giving them all they could handle right now in a scoreless football game with 11 minutes left here in the first half. As the Carbondale area Chargers go to work from their own 1-yard line, and we may have a safety. It's a safety, as Sales took the handoff and could not get across the goal line, and Carbondale area is hit with a safety.
Well, you know, sometimes
Susquehanna picks up a safety,
with a defense like Susquehanna's, there's not a lot of options you have there, and it was just good penetration by the right side of the line, and the safety, and that's, you know, that may be a better option than a touchdown, obviously.
Susquehanna takes a 2-0 lead over the Chargers. So, Nick, you have to wonder if, Coach Gabriel naturally had a lot of faith in Brad Sales, but in that case, do you just take Jordan Tallarico and try to have him fall forward, maybe?
I have no problem with the call. It's just...
It's a good Susquehanna defense. They were right there.
There's nothing taken away from that. It's just those types of things. Like you said, you'd rather give up the 2 than the 7. And, you're playing well in this game from Carbondale's standpoint. It's a bit of a weird style game. There's not a lot of flow to it so far in this game by both teams. Carbondale's kind of been shooting themselves in the foot on offense. Susquehanna's been breaking plays within a drive stalls. So...
And the last couple of times they had the football, they could not hang on to it. So
two consecutive plays, 2 fumbles, and unfortunately for Susquehanna, 1 was lost.
Now the Carbondale area Chargers will kick it off to the Susquehanna Sabers, and this time they will be kicking off from their own 20, and this is a line drive kick, and it is caught on the run and dropped and picked up by Nolan Hauser, and Hauser will take the football across midfield into right at the midfield stripe, and that's where the Susquehanna Sabers will start this drive. 1st down and 10, leading by the score of 2-0. Well, Carbondale, Nick, got off to a great start on the kickoff as Jablonowski returned it all the way down to the Saber 11-yard line, but came away empty. They came away with no points. So right now we'll see if Susquehanna can get their offense untracked from the midfield stripe on 1st down. Here's White. handing off, and there's a big hole, and the Susquehanna Sabers will pick up a first down all the way to the Carbondale 35-yard line.
Was that Felder?
Austin Felter, senior, 5'7", 176 pounds.
The Sabers.
So it was the blocking up front that made that play so successful.
And Susquehanna's getting off the ball pretty well. Carbondale is, again, the inexperience and probably the first time running their defense against an offense like this, it's pretty difficult.
New set of downs for the Sabers, and it will be White to keep. White turns it upfield, breaks a couple of tackles, and then he is gang tackled by a host of red shirts. Sales is in there for the Chargers making the tackle. Jeff Arthur also helping out. And Steve Martin, the outside linebacker, coming up to make the stop for the Charger defense.
Jeff Arthur and number 46, Steve Martin.
Well, I really expected a bigger crowd here tonight, guys, for the on the Charger side. You look across the way, a good following from Susquehanna making the trip. By the way, a big hello to all of our listeners up in Susquehanna. Glad to have you on board tonight for the broadcast here on Channel 7. Second down and 5 for the Sabers from the Carbondale 30. As White, under the gun, will have to throw it away.
Well, it's probably his best thing he could have done there. No one open, and he was pressured by about 3 or 4 Carbondale linemen.
Austin Darrow was the intended receiver. That was just the experience of Austin White. Rolling out, knew there was nowhere to throw the football, so tossed it out of bounds to stop the clock with 9 minutes and 14 seconds to play in the first half, and the Sabres leading 2-0. Next week, we will be at Lakeland for a big game between the Western Wayne Wildcats and the Lakeland Chiefs. Airtime 6:45 right here on Channel 7. Third down and 5 as the Susquehanna Sabres will try to go up the middle against the Chargers, and not too much running room there.
Carbondale timed that blitz perfectly.
Noah
really
Yates.
A lot of the exchange.
Noah Yates, number 88, the 6'4" freshman, in on the tackle for the Chargers.
And that was Richardson for the fullback running the ball out there.
So in this ball game thus far, Susquehanna virtually shut down by this Carbondale defense, playing with a lot of confidence.
Big play right here, Steve.
Stanley will be a wide out on the top of your screen. Darrow comes to the near side. White back to throw. Rushes on, and he will be forced to dump it off, and that was just a great job by Jeff Arthur.
But I'll tell you something, that was a great call. That stunt at that time. It was terrific. Jeff Arthur was there. Jeff Arthur obviously took a book out of his father's playbook that time with the speed he had there.
I don't know. Jeff did a great job that time.
He's standing over your shoulder there, Glenn?
He's right next to me. He's right next to me on the other side of the window.
And he's not paying any attention to Glenn. So now the Sabres turn it over on downs, and the Carbondale area Chargers will go to work offensively as Sales will bang off left tackle and carry the football out to the 35-yard line.
You know, of all the things that went wrong for Carbondale here so far in this first half, if they just settle down and start running some of the basic offense here, they're okay.
Yeah, I think you're 100% right, Glenn. Instead of trying to out-trick Susquehanna right now, do what you do the best. Because, I'm sure you could tell on the stat sheet that they probably don't have any positive yards yet.
Second down and
none
6.
at all, not even close.
As Tallarico will hand it off to Sales, and he is wrapped up on the play. It is Austin Felter, the strong safety, coming up to tackle him for no gain.
I think it's a moral victory at Carbondale to only be down 2-0 with negative yards.
Well, usually you get these two teams together, and it's either a real high-scoring affair or a dogfight. And here come the Chargers to the line of scrimmage on 3rd down and 5 from the Carbondale 35. As Tallarico will take the snap, fires downfield, incomplete, intended for Chris Larson, but overthrown. Coverage in the secondary by the right cornerback Nolan Hauser.
Christopher Larson.
I don't think that pass. He wasn't ready to throw that ball that time. I'm not even sure he had a good grip on that one.
Number 11, Jason
Jablanowski will drop back in punt formation for the Chargers on 4th and 5. Austin Darrow is awaiting the punt at his own 31. Good job by Jablanowski as this punt will bounce at the 45. It gets a Susquehanna roll and then is downed by the Chargers. And the Sabres will have good field position as they start this drive. 1st down and 10 from their own 46 with 6:56 to play in the first half, and the Sabres up by the score of 2-0.
Well, let's see what Carbondale's defense can do now. I mean, it's an open field. This is where you would think that the Susquehanna offense would shine, having a lot of area to work with and a lot of options they have on their offense. So you would look for some you have to be some tough defense on Carbondale's defensive line.
As the Sabres will come to the line of scrimmage, and this time White will work out of the gun. White with time, fires, underthrown, intended for Craig Stanley, the split end.
Pass. That brings up a 2nd down and 10.
Well, if you're Carbondale, Susquehanna, you hope that they're going to throw the ball.
Yep.
They really haven't had too much success other than the one completion.
And they can throw the football, as White this season has thrown for 511 yards and 6 touchdowns coming into this ball game, completing 30 of 83 attempts with 3 interceptions. 2nd down and 10 from the 46. White to throw again, this time. Pass is incomplete.
Well,
as Stanley was the intended receiver.
I think this is playing into Carbondale's hands tremendously, because I think Susquehanna's second best option is their passing. Certainly their running game is their bread and butter. So this is absolutely a plus for Carbondale's defense.
And you can see that they miss Hepler.
Definitely.
You were right, guys. He's been a 3-year starter for this team. He's their leader. He's their go-to guy when they need a big carry.
3rd down and 10 for the Sabres. And White will keep, turns it upfield, breaks a tackle, and then is finally caught in Charger territory at the 48-yard line as Sales led the way with the pursuit for the Carbondale defense. And it is 4th down and about 5 yards to go for the Susquehanna Sabres.
I expected a punt here, guys. With Carbondale's offense spinning its wheels, I definitely think you take the field position.
Oh gosh, you should, and you're still, if you can stop them, you have probably decent field position again.
Luke Brinton will drop back in punt formation for Carbondale, and Jablanowski will await the kick at his own 15. Good snap. Pretty good punt. That's a spiral. It will bounce at the 24, and it rolls out of bounds near the Carbondale 18. That's where the Chargers will go to work offensively with 5 minutes and 54 seconds on the clock, trailing 2-0. So kind of a sluggish night for this Susquehanna Sabre offense. High-powered offense, averaging about 24 a ball game.
You look at possession, Steve. First, Susquehanna had the ball for 9 plays the first time, 5, 4, and 4. Carbondale 4, 5, 1 with the safety, and 4. So it's pretty close.
Football is spotted on the 19-yard line as Tallarico will hand it off, and this will be Gelati. Strung out, but then turns it upfield for an additional yard or 2. And Zach Conrad, the linebacker, makes the tackle. He had 7 tackles last week against Lackawanna Trail.
On the carry for Carbondale.
2nd down plays, 2nd and about 8.
About 3 yards.
5.5 minutes left in the first half. Quick moving football game here in Carbondale.
The 22-yard line.
As Andrew Larson, the freshman, will lead the Chargers to the line of scrimmage. Bolinas and Jablanowski are wideouts on the near side. As we have movement on the line, and we'll wait for the official word, but it looks as though Susquehanna took off a little bit too early, and that will be a 5-yarder called against the Sabers.
Second down.
So for the Carbondale area Chargers, only down 2-0. They're in a good situation right here. Second down and a couple from their own 27.
They got to try to get a little bit of momentum going here with their offense, which is sputtering a little bit.
Tallarico on a handoff, and this will be, I believe, Sales, and Sales with a second effort will be very close to a first down.
Second and third effort there, because he actually hit that line like if he was dancing, and then a little bit of power freight is a first down.
Good job by Brad Sales.
Number 22, Brad Sales, picks up the first down for Carbondale.
Averages coming into this ball game, averages about 5.5 yards per carry, 4 rushing touchdowns, 2 receiving.
From the 30-yard
has scored
line.
36 points this year for Carbondale area. And from the 30, new set of downs for the Chargers, 1st and 10. And here's Tallarico on a give to Sales, and Sales will be spun down by the Saber defense after a short gain. Making the tackle for the Susquehanna Sabers was the defensive end, Wes Richardson, 5'9", 198 pounds, and a junior.
From the 32-yard line.
You know, Carbondale's best defense is controlling the ball against Susquehanna, because you know as well as I do, at any given time Susquehanna can break one here, and if Carbondale can control the ball and run this clock down, that would be their best defense they have going.
As the Chargers will look down the barrel of 2nd down and 8. Tallarico will drop back in the pocket. He's looking long for Jablanowski, I believe. Let's check it. He has the catch.
No, I think it's intercepted.
Incomplete. Intercepted, picked off by the Susquehanna Sabers. Boy, Jablanowski was right there, but Susquehanna comes up with the big play to pick it off. And that was Craig Stanley, the defensive back, the left corner, coming up with the big interception to stall a Carbondale threat.
Well, I'll tell you what, that was thrown just a little bit behind the receiver, but I'll tell you what, it was an arm fight to see who was going to come up with that, because Jablanowski had that for a while.
It was a good call, good play action pass, good protection. A little underthrown, but Stanley just wrestled it away.
2-0 Susquehanna, 1st down and 10, Sabers from the 44-yard line. And White drilled, breaks away from the pressure, turns it upfield, fires, and the pass is complete to Felter. There is Felter zigzagging his way.
Block.
He got a block, turns it at the 20. Here goes Felter, and Felter will be caught at the 4-yard line.
I saw that play developing. Carbondale, great penetration. The only thing that happened is you let Austin White break contain on you.
Well, it was a great pass, a 53-yard pass play. And
Sales made this touchdown-saving tackle, but the Sabers in good shape at the Carbondale 3, 1st and goal, leading 2-0.
But it was the way that White broke away from an impending tackle that made that play.
Yeah, he bought himself just enough time to find his receiver, and he saw what the dividends paid.
Now it will be White to come up under center. White dropping back, looking end zone, overthrows Austin Darrow. Put that baby up for grabs in the right corner of the end zone.
Even at 6'4", he wasn't coming down with that one.
No, that was Ortiz on the coverage. Ortiz is 6'2", so that's a great matchup between Darrow and Marcos Ortiz, the right defensive end. Clock stopped with 2:33 to play in the first half, and Susquehanna leading Carbondale 2-0. Second down and goal from the Carbondale 3 for the Sabers. And White will button up the chin strap and take a look at the Carbondale defense. Man in motion. White will keep struggling and stopped shy of the goal line as he tried to go right up the middle. So this Carbondale defense playing tough, denying Susquehanna the touchdown, and it's going to be third down for the Sabers. Now the football is spotted near the 2-yard line.
From the 2-yard line.
And checking into the lineup, Brady Towner with the play from head coach Kyle Cook, as Austin White will come up under center. White will call out the signals, toss play, and it will go into the end zone for a touchdown with a flag on the play. That is Nolan Hauser
holding
against the Sabers.
Sabers.
That's a tough one.
Oof. And that was called by the referee. So that could have been after the running back was gone by the tackle.
As the officials will step it off and place the football at the 15. Boy, that really hurts if you're Susquehanna.
Third and 15. From the 15.
Third down and goal from the 15-yard line of Carbondale.
That play was set up nicely, too, and the running back was in the end zone, no problem. A hold was absolutely unnecessary.
Hauser will go in motion, same play. Weaving his way around, and he is caught. Chris Larson, the man who made the initial hit, give him credit in the Carbondale area defense.
Attempt a field goal here.
Number 84, Christopher Larson, and number 7, Dominic.
And it's a timeout called by Carbondale area, 1:27 left in the half. Chargers trail 2-0 against Susquehanna here on Adams Cable High School Football.
Looking for great prices and special offers on top quality parts and accessories? You'll find them at Napa Auto Parts. Visit Tonkin Auto Supply in Carbondale for great savings while supplies last. Only at Napa. Stop in and see Glenn, Garth, and the staff at Tonkin Auto Supply in Carbondale, your know-how folks.
Napa know-how. Napa know-how. Napa know-how. Napa know-how.
Welcome back to the Andrew J. Serra Sports Complex in Carbondale with 1 minute and 27 seconds remaining here in the first half of this Week 9 matchup between the Susquehanna Sabers and the Carbondale area Chargers. The Sabers lead 2-0. They have the football, fourth down and goal from the Carbondale 11, and they called a timeout to talk things over. Let's see what the strategy will be right here.
Well, if I were Susquehanna and I had a field goal kicker that was kicking them in practice 30 from the 35-yard line, I don't think there'd be a hesitation. But, yep.
Well, Steve Jess will attempt the field goal out of the hold of Craig Stanley. Let's check this spot.
Should be 27 yards.
27-yard field goal attempt by Steve Jess, and boy, Nick, he was really splitting the uprights in practice. Here it is for 27 yards. No good.
And the field goal is no good.
He had the distance, just didn't have the accuracy.
With 1:22 left in the first half.
So for the Susquehanna Sabers, they come away with no points. So right now they are just clinging to a 2-0 lead over the Chargers with 1:22 left in the half.
You're Carbondale, you got to feel great right now.
Oh, absolutely.
Defense is playing excellent.
I mean, the defense is playing tremendously. Offense is sputtering a little bit, but to be if in fact this goes 2-0 into halftime, they have to be pumped up coming out in the second half. But I have to be careful here, though.
Yeah, if I'm Carbondale, I don't try anything fancy.
From the 11-yard line.
Well, the football is at the 20-yard line, first down and 10 for Carbondale area, as Tallarico will hand it off to Sales, and he is caught after about a gain of a yard on the play, going off the right side.
Picks up about 1 yard. 2nd and 9.
I think Susquehanna has 3 timeouts. I'm surprised they're not calling any.
Well, the clock continues to run with under 1 minute left in the first half as Jordan Tallarico will trot in from the near sideline with the play from head coach Larry Gabriel III, as it is 2nd down and 9 from the 22-yard line. Tallarico will hand it off, and this will be, I believe, Sales taking the football out across the 25-yard line. And there's the timeout by Susquehanna with 30 seconds left. They lead it 2-0 here on Adams Cable High School Football.
The White's Crossing Sports Shop, Canaan Street in Carbondale, is the leading authority for the outdoors in northeastern Pennsylvania. They carry a full line of archery accessories, hunting and reloading supplies, live bait, and a variety of fishing tackle. The White's Crossing Sports Shop is open 7 days a week from 7 a.m. until 1 p.m. Call 282-4699 or log on to their website at whitescrossing.com. Finding that unique seasonal outdoor item has never been easier with help from Tom and the staff at the White's Crossing Sports Shop. Here's great news from Figlamini Drugstore in Carbondale that can save you money and make shopping for your prescriptions more convenient. Figlamini now has an $8.95 generic drug plan and free local delivery. Figlamini offers diabetic shoes, lift chairs, and home health supplies. That's what sets Figlamini apart from the chains. Locally owned and trusted since 1929. Stop in and see the difference for yourself at Figlamini Drugstore in Carbondale, where you're not just a number, you're family.
Carbondale area will go to work, 3rd down and 4 from its own 27-yard line, trailing 2-0 with 33 seconds left in the first half. Toss play near side. Jablanowski makes a move and then runs right into the defense of the Susquehanna Sabers, leading the way with the pursuit.
Timeout, Susquehanna.
Now let's check this, as I believe it was Zach Conrad coming up to make the initial hit, and another timeout called on the field with 26 seconds left on Adams Cable High School Football.
Insurance is more than just a policy. It's knowing that you are properly covered to protect all the assets you have worked so hard to acquire over the years. For over 50 years, McGovern Insurance has fulfilled the needs and expectations of families and businesses in the greater Carbondale area. McGovern Insurance Agency specializes in auto, home, commercial, and life insurance. Call for a competitive quote and superior service at 282-1170. Your protection comes first at McGovern Insurance Agency, 26th Avenue, Carbondale.
Back at the Andrew J. Serra Sports Complex in Carbondale with Glenn Muskowski and Nick Homick. Steve Young here. Good football game in week number 9 in this Lackawanna Football Conference Division III battle. Susquehanna holds a 2-0 advantage over the Chargers with 26 seconds left. Carbondale area will face 4th down and 4 from its own 27. Jablanowski is on to punt. Good snap. And a line drive kick, and the ball is bouncing around, and Susquehanna, I believe, let's check this, may have it. He never got away a clean kick.
Now, who did it hit? That
was like a line drive kick right into both the offense and the defense. Susquehanna will have it.
Oh, that is big, because now one play and you could.
Therefore, white ball, 4th down. First down this way.
And that's a good explanation, because if it did, it's the same thing as if it was a block punt. You know, technically, if it's a block punt, the defense is the one who touched it last. Well, it's not a live ball at that point.
So now the football will be placed at the. Let's check this, the 22-yard line, and Susquehanna with 17 seconds on the clock will come up to the line of scrimmage with a 2-0 lead over Carbondale, and it is White. Back in the pocket, steps up, flushed out, fires downfield, incomplete, intended for Felter. Out in the flat.
Brings up a 2nd and 10.
And the clock now stopped with 10 seconds remaining.
If you're Carbondale, you're just hoping this last 10 seconds runs off quickly.
Well, it's, that the thing of it is, Steve, with that situation that happened there, if they go down the field and they have to go 50 yards, it's a big difference. But right here, one play and it's automatically, it's not. I shouldn't say automatically, but it's much easier to score from here.
2nd and 10, the Susquehanna Sabers from the Carbondale 22, and a timeout is called by Carbondale with 10 seconds left as the Sabers lead this one 2-0 on Adams Cable High School football.
Keep your vehicle running safe and efficiently with complete automotive care by Jerry's Tire and Auto Service, Brooklyn Street, Carbondale. You can rely on Jerry's for minor repairs, wheel alignment, Pennsylvania safety inspection and emissions testing, brake service, oil changes, computer diagnostics, and brand name tires for a smooth ride. Stop in and see Jerry. Call 282-TIRE or visit their website, jerrystire@gmail.com. Jerry's Tire and Auto Service, Brooklyn Street, Carbondale.
Back to the gridiron for more Adams Cable High School football.
Back at the Andrew J. Serra Sports Complex in Carbondale, the Susquehanna Sabers have a 2-0 lead over the Carbondale area Chargers with 10 seconds left to play in first half action, and the Sabers will have the football 2nd down and 10 from the Carbondale area 22-yard line. Chargers called a timeout to make sure the defense is set on this play, and here come the Sabers up to the line of scrimmage as White will work out of the gun. And here comes the snap. White back in the pocket with time, fires downfield, incomplete. Darrell, the intended receiver, got kind of turned the wrong way near the end zone, guys, and that was just a good pass from White, but they could not hook up on the play, and the clock now is down to 4 seconds, 3rd down and 10 for the Sabers.
I think the coaching staff of Carbondale has no fingernails left on this one. Yeah. Well,
another field goal attempt here, guys.
Oh, yeah, it looks that way.
Well, it looks like Steve Jess will line up for, let's check the yardage on this one, Nick. You have a better vantage point than I do.
37 yards.
Looks like, about 37, and here's the field goal attempt by Jess.
That's a good one.
No question about that.
And that's good.
No question about
He
that.
misses the short one, but kicks the 37-yarder.
When is the last time we've seen a 5-0 halftime score? Something's up tonight, guys.
Really, we've had all kind of craziness here in Carbondale as the Susquehanna Sabers will take a 5-0 lead into the locker room here at halftime. So we will go to a break, and we have a big second half of action still to come between the Chargers and the Sabers when we return on Adams Cable High School football.
Improve the appearance of your property with the help of Nick's Excavating and Paving of Carbondale. Nick's Excavating and Paving provides the highest quality service in residential and commercial excavating, paving and seal coating, demolition, land clearing, foundations, driveways, sidewalks, and utility lines. Nick's Excavating and Paving also delivers sand, stone, topsoil, and mulch. For prompt professional service, call Nick's Excavating and Paving, Carbondale. Redden's Drug Stores in Halstead and Susquehanna are proud supporters of Susquehanna Saber football. Redden's Drug Stores, your hometown pharmacy since 1916, is open 6 days a week with a licensed pharmacist on duty to answer any questions you may have about medications. Go to reddensdrugstore.com for special web offers and unique gift ideas. Good luck, Sabers, from your friends at Redden's Drug Stores in Halstead and Susquehanna. You're ready for the big game, but how about your car? As you travel through downtown Carbondale, look for the classic yellow, blue, and red Sunoco sign. Drive in and fill up with the fuel of choice from Main Street Sunoco and get the finest performance from your car. At Main Street Sunoco in Carbondale, prompt, courteous service is always assured. Congratulations to our local athletes and coaches for their hard work and dedication from the staff and management of Main Street Sunoco in Carbondale.
When your car does this, call us first.
Every job is perfect or it doesn't leave the shop. That's the motto at Beston's Auto Body and Collision Center in Carbondale. In an accident, remember, it is your car and your choice to choose your repair center. Call Beston's Auto Body and Collision Center in Carbondale, well known for integrity, safety, and craftsmanship. For more information concerning your rights and the 10 things you need to know before having your car repaired, go to their website, bestonsautobody.com. Good luck to all area teams from Tony, Mike, Jeff, and the staff at Beston's Auto Body and Collision Center, Gordon Avenue, Carbondale.
So, it'll be interesting to see how Coach Cook plays this second half. I foresee a little bit opening it up. But I could be wrong, but they need to get revved up here if they want to go into next week's game with a chance to win the division.
Yeah, if you think you're looking ahead to next week, you'd better wake up before and take care of business this week. Coach Cook, of course, talked about that earlier.
Second half is underway. Gelati will kick it off, and bit of trickery by Carbondale area. Jeff Arthur planning to kick off, and it was Gelati coming up to kick the football, and recovering was Brady Towner for the Susquehanna Sabers at the Saber 41, and that's where Susquehanna will go to work offensively with the football. First down and 10 to start the second half.
I thought there was the Rockettes out there kicking the ball the way those people were moving around and legs were going.
I like the call, though. It's worth a shot.
And now the Susquehanna Sabers, with a 5-0 lead over Carbondale, will go to work as Austin White will have an I formation in the backfield. And this will be Felter carrying the football to the near side and picking up about 2 on the play. Coming up for the Chargers, strong safety Zach Zopko leading the way. Gelati also there.
The one thing you really notice with Susquehanna, the way they run their offense, is they really cheat those backs up. I mean, there's really not a lot of room for reaction if there's any kind of penetration from a defense.
Well, they've been running that forever and ever, and it takes a while to learn it. And these guys have been here forever running this, so they're doing a nice job of it.
Second down and 9 for the Sabers, and there goes a big running play by Nolan Hauser getting the call, and he picks up first down yardage for Susquehanna as he went off the right side and gives the Sabers great field position at the Charger 45.
A good, he hit that hole very quickly, and he was gone for a nice 13-yard run.
First and 10 from the 45-yard line.
Sabers now with a new set of downs and a 5-0 lead. Darrow is a wideout at the bottom of your screen, and this will be Felter getting the call, bouncing around, still on his feet, trying to break the tackle, and the Carbondale area Charger defense smothers him. Behind the line of scrimmage, Dom Gelati, the middle linebacker, only a sophomore, making the tackle for the Chargers.
A couple things that I saw on that play. Obviously, you had your first wave get there. But the other thing I saw is a couple of kids try to come in for, to try to finish them off with a shoulder. You got to wrap somebody up.
Yeah, it's all about wrapping them up.
Yeah, you saw White bust a play like that in the first half. Completed for 52 yards.
Football on the 44, second and 11 for the Sabers, and they keep it on the ground and pick up some good yardage to the 40 of Carbondale area.
24 Nolan Hauser on the carry for Susquehanna.
Nolan Hauser, 5'11", 160-pound junior, getting the call for the Sabers.
2 carries, 19 yards. This half for Hauser alone.
Now the Sabers right now looking like a different football team as they come out of the locker room in the third quarter with a 5-0 lead, facing 3rd and 5 from the Charger 40. As Austin White Take a look at the Carbondale defense. Here comes the snap. There was movement on the line and flags on the play.
Just seems that every time Susquehanna gets a positive play, they take one back.
Ball start, offense. Third down.
Now 5-yarder will place the football at the Carbondale 45 and bring up third down and 10 yards to go. Well, that's a good point, Nick. In this football game, Susquehanna would run good play, get some positive yardage, and penalty will bring it back. So now they're in 3rd and long in Carbondale territory. Here's White with the pass play. Darrell has it, and then is drilled by the Carbondale defense.
And Austin White completes.
Chris Larson making the tackle for
Austin
the
down.
Carbondale area Chargers.
3 yards short, looks like.
He'll be a little bit short.
A long 2, if anything.
Yeah.
4th down and a long 2.
It's 4th down.
Well, the
and 2
defensive
from the
scheme by
37-yard
Larry
line.
Gabriel III coming into this ball game was a 3-3-5 defense. And that's what they're still running right now. On 4th down and 2 for the Susquehanna Sabers, and they'll go with the running attack.
I don't think he's got it.
I'll tell you what.
Not getting the spot.
446 had the ball.
Well, that was Martin for Carbondale area, and let's check where they're going to spot the football. No. Susquehanna did not get the first down, and Carbondale will take over possession of the football on downs with 8 minutes and 28 seconds left to play 3rd quarter, and the Chargers trailing 5-0. So this Carbondale area defense has really stymied Susquehanna.
From the 35-yard
And
line.
Carbondale will go to work on offense with the football 1st down and 10. As Jordan Tallarico will look to hand it off, and Sales will take it around the left side.
Brad Sales on the
Boy,
carry.
Susquehanna has really, a lot of times on defense tonight has really stacked a lot of guys within 5 yards of the ball. And it's just tough going for the Carbondale offense.
Well, are they saying to
he's
Carbondale,
got ya.
throw the ball, go ahead?
I think he's definitely doing that.
2nd and
Well,
10.
the Sabres definitely in a dogfight now in the 3rd quarter with a 5-0 lead. Anybody's football game right now as the Chargers will face 2nd down and 10 from their own 35-yard line. Jablanowski wide on the near side. Tallarico back to throw with time, looking near side.
He was open
overthrows
too.
Gelati.
Right call.
Oh, it's great. He was open. He came across the behind the
3rd and 10 from
linebackers there was
35-yard
wide open.
line.
Austin White on the coverage for the Susquehanna Sabres.
Yeah, I think play actions are going to give Carbondale at least a little bit of time to throw the ball. If you're stacking that many guys in the box, you're obviously playing run.
That thing needed to be floated out there that time. You don't like to throw that float, but there was nobody besides the one defender on him. If he floated that out, that could have ended up being a great play and a lot of yardage.
Now we're looking at a preview of the future, just how good this Carbondale football team could be. It's 3rd down and 10 from the 35-yard line for the Chargers. Here is Tallarico trying to buy some time, looking downfield, and the catch is made by the Chargers, and that is Bolinas on the reception for a first down.
From number 10, Jordan Tallarico.
How about the job Jordan Tallarico did that time, guys? Rolling out, buying some time, waiting until Bolinas got open and then hit him with a picture-perfect pass for a Carbondale first down.
Well, he looked like an experienced quarterback in that one. He waited just at the right time, and he's learning. They're getting better. You can see that.
First down and 10, Carbondale area from the Saber 48-yard line. As Tallarico is at the controls, handoff will go up the middle. Not too much there. Ball was loose. Play was already blown dead.
Yeah, let's face it, guys. I mean, at this point right now in Carbondale's, with their personnel, they're not just going to be a drop back, Peyton Manning style team. You just don't have that. But the rollouts and things like that, gives him a little more time. He can see a little more of the field. And he's having some success right here.
6 minutes and 35 seconds remaining in the third quarter. 5-0 Susquehanna. Carbondale area facing 2nd down and 8 from the Saber 46. As Jordan Tallarico will have an I formation in the backfield. Larson comes in motion. Tallarico on the toss play. Sales runs right into White, the linebacker of the Susquehanna defense, and White had 5 tackles last week against Lackawanna Trail, 1 for a loss. So played a great defensive game against the Lions.
Susquehanna's defense is really doing a good job against the run today. It is a struggle for Carbondale to gain yards. They're making some good penetration. They're following the ball and attacking the ball as it comes to the line of scrimmage.
Polinas and Sales are wideouts on the near side as Tallarico will work out of the gun. Sales comes in motion, and Sales will take the handoff and is buried on the play for a huge loss. Well, Susquehanna wasn't fooled, and it's going to bring up a 4th down and long for the Chargers, and the punting unit will come on for Carbondale area.
Penetration kills those style plays. They just take too long to develop.
Well,
exactly. It's just not something, in a different style game, I would say, but
Jablonowski with a great punt. Darrow will field it at the 22-yard line. Darrow with a short return. Good coverage by Carbondale.
Number 17, Austin Darrow, receives the punt.
Well, Nick, you talked about it. Not too much flow in this football game.
And Jeff Arthur made a great downfield tackle again. He's playing a good game today.
Yeah, he's really pumped up in this football game, and that's what you need. That's what you play for. 5-0 your score. Susquehanna with 4 minutes and 49 seconds remaining third quarter. Sabres have the football 1st and 10 from their own 30-yard line, struggling offensively in this football game.
Austin White's got a little bit of a hitch in his giddy up there. He's limping around a little bit.
Well, it's been a hard-hitting contest.
He has taken some shots when he was dropped back to pass, but I don't know if maybe he's disciplined on the defensive end there.
A safety by Susquehanna and a 37-yard field goal by Stephen Jess, and that has been all the scoring we've had thus far as the Sabres try to run the football. And
Dominic Gelati.
Gelati.
Great penetration by Dominic that time.
Guys, something is really not right with Austin White. He's going out by the 20-yard line right out there now to try and get a play from Coach Cook.
Oh, he's limping.
That's like a hip pointer type of injury.
Yeah, you have to wonder he's not going to come back in the ball game.
No, they got another quarterback coming in.
Yeah, we'll check who will be doing the quarterbacking.
This is huge.
Well, that's what you get when you put your quarterback in on the defensive side of the ball also.
Yeah, we'll check who the new quarterback will be.
Kyle Donovan.
And this play will go nowhere.
That's the other thing now. That we were talking about how the conditions of that field is starting to get a little dewy out there. New quarterback in there, you get a fumble exchange. Carbondale could be sitting pretty here, guys.
Yeah, Kyle Donovan is the new quarterback wearing number 43. And do we have a player shaken up?
Larson.
So Eric Larson will go to the far side of the field.
This is a big development here, guys.
Yeah, sure is.
Well, definitely. You lose a such key personnel like Austin White out of the ball game right now, and Donovan taking his place. And the big concern is the health of Austin White. So now it will be Donovan to run the offense, and Donovan was belted on the play.
I'll tell you,
Kyle Donovan trying to run the offense, but this Carbondale Charger defense is really pumped up right now, trailing 5-0, and this is going to force Susquehanna to punt.
Well, Coach Gabriel, this is the time to field a punt. I can't resist.
Well, Nick.
Well, you haven't had nothing to say about the Stripers today, so.
Well, Nick, all I can say is make sure you go to Coach Gabriel if they return a punt for a touchdown. We'll go to a break and be right back with more Adams Cable High School football.
What does it mean to be an expert? Does it mean getting the job done right? Or being able to pinpoint a problem and quickly find a solution? Whatever the meaning, the team in NJS are your experts in hydraulic and pneumatic components. So whether you need a custom hose built on the spot or a cylinder repaired from the ground up, the experts at NJS are there when you need them. And with the area's largest hose and fittings warehouse, NJS has thousands of the parts you need in stock and ready to go. NJS Route 6 Mayfield, online at njsco.com. NJS is proud to call this area home and proud to sponsor our area athletes on Adams Cable Channel 7. Lawrence A. Gabriel Funeral Homes, located at 74 North Main Street and 2 Hospital Street, Carbondale, offer all types of funeral services. In your time of need, call 282-1219 for the ultimate in professional service. From Lawrence A. Gabriel Jr., family, and staff, good luck this season to our local athletes and teams.
It is 4th down and 20 for Susquehanna. Kyle Bale, the sophomore, will punt and gets away a pretty good punt as it will roll up across the 45-yard line. And that's where Carbondale area will have possession of the football, but a flag is down on the play.
I think we have roughened the kicker on time. He knocked the kicker down, missed the ball, just missed the ball. He ran right on top of him. Is there such a thing as in high school, Nick, running into the kicker? Or?
I don't know. I just think it's I don't know if it's an automatic first down. I can't remember.
Is it a 15-yard? If it's a 15-yard,
15 yards, still
5 yards penalty. Yep. Running into the kicker.
Oh, so
no repunt.
Yeah.
No, and just going back real quick to get what you guys were saying, taking it easy on the stripes. I just think, this might be a good time to talk about Coach Jim Miller. Obviously, passed away this week.
Just thinking about that, Nick.
And I remember him as the official from my days of coaching. And always a gentleman. I'm sure you guys can really, still take it from here.
He was a no-nonsense teacher, coach, and official. Liked by many, many people, but respected by everyone.
Definitely.
Yeah, he was. I mean, I can just remember a few times I was fortunate enough to, to meet him. And he officiated a number of our games, even just on the freshman level. Not let alone the varsity level. Always took the time to talk to you. He was there and he cared about the kids. Who he was officiating their games too.
He individually took people and made them officials and taught them the game. There was 3 eulogies today at the funeral by 3 of the people on his team, on his officiating team. Jack Loomis, Mike Serra, and Jeff Arthur. And, of course, the 4th one on his officiating team was his son, Jimmy Miller. So, and that was a tribute and a half. Those gentlemen today did an outstanding job just relating stories about Jim Miller from the heart, but funny.
He had the respect on the football field. He also had the respect in the classroom. I remember when he was a business teacher, right, Glenn?
Oh, yeah. He was a numbers man.
Yes,
accounting.
He was. But you had his respect. When he walked into the room, it got quiet. Mr. Miller was there. I really loved him. He did some broadcasting, Glenn, for the radio station up at 1440. There goes Sales, and he may go all the way for the touchdown. There he goes. And it is Carbondale area taking a 6-5 lead over Susquehanna.
51 yards for Mr. Sales.
Where was that play all night?
And how ironic is it? Is there a flag on the play?
Oh, boy.
Flag down on the play?
Wow.
It's coming back. This is coming back. Sales really turned on the speed on that far sideline, but here's the call.
Holding. Offense.
Wow.
I'd come right back to it. Just a straight counterplay.
And getting back to Jim Miller, guys, he did some broadcasting when I was with the local radio station, guys. I was broadcasting the games on FM. We were doing Big 11 games. He was doing color commentary on the suburban games, covering Carbondale area and Western Wayne. Did an outstanding job on the broadcast, so he will definitely be missed. As I look down on the near sideline, I can't help but visualize the late Jim Miller strutting up and down the sideline, back and forth with the CA hat on. And Nick, not Nick, but Glenn, do you remember the bumper stickers that were on the cars? 1970, year of the Chargers.
I do remember those a little bit. I wasn't at Carbondale at that time. I was in
fashion design.
I was at Mid Valley. I was at Mid Valley for my first almost 3 years.
Yes, I remember.
But I remember those football teams, and he had some great ones. He was like I said, he was an outstanding numbers man in the classroom. His program he started the first solid program in Carbondale in years.
Here's Tallarico rolling out, and the pass intended for Larson is incomplete. And, he looked like a football coach when he was on that sideline, strutting back and forth, running the team. You knew that you had a football coach on the field and that it was going to be a successful venture.
Well, I would think he was considered, without question, one of the best, if not the best official in the Lackawanna Football Conference for two reasons. Number one, because he taught young officials how to become good officials, and he knew the rules. And that was one of his big things. You don't know the rules, you can't be a good official.
Encroachment.
So that was brought up by these three gentlemen today in their eulogies about Jim. It's funny stories about how he would, no matter where he was, what he was doing, if you made a mistake, he'd let you know.
You knew about it.
Yeah.
But it made you a better person.
Absolutely.
He took it as a privilege to be an official, too. It wasn't, a job to them.
He got the respect from people because he gave people the respect that they did, whether it be another teacher, a player, an athlete, or a student.
It is 3rd down and 7 for Carbondale, and the pass off the fingertips of Jablanowski. Jablanowski actually slipped on the turf a bit and could not come up with the catch.
And he's up a 4th and 7 from the 47-yard line.
That was a strike there. Tallarico was throwing. That was mustard on that one.
Well, I tell you what, that was a beauty. But probably if Jablanowski doesn't slip, he catches, because he's a pretty sure-handed receiver.
Jablanowski on to punt for Carbondale area on 4th and 7. Hauser, wait, it's a fake, and here comes Carbondale, and they will not get the first down. Now, did that go to Gelati, guys?
Yep.
Yeah. Came up short. But, boy, if you're the defense of Susquehanna, you have to be on your toes right now, because Larry Gabriel is going to throw everything at you but the kitchen sink.
That's for sure.
In a 5-0 dogfight here between the Sabers and the Chargers with 1:01 remaining in the third quarter.
White's back in there at quarterback, guys, but I don't know if I'm going to see him run it too much.
Well, here's White back to throw, and he fires downfield, incomplete.
He doesn't have much on that ball at all. He can't step into the throw.
He can't, and he's down on the field, and he will be attended to. So Eric Larson will get out there very quickly and attend to Austin White. And with 56 seconds left, we will go to a break with the Sabres leading 5-0 on Adams Cable High School football.
The White's Crossing Sports Shop, Canaan Street in Carbondale, is the leading authority for the outdoors in northeastern Pennsylvania. They carry a full line of archery accessories, hunting and reloading supplies, live bait, and a variety of fishing tackle. The White's Crossing Sports Shop is open 7 days a week from 7 a.m. until 1 p.m. Call 282-4699 or log on to their website at whitescrossing.com. Finding that unique seasonal outdoor item has never been easier with help from Tom and the staff at the White's Crossing Sports Shop.
Now Austin White is coming off the football field after being checked out by Eric Larson of Carbondale area. And for the Susquehanna Sabers now, it is 2nd down and 10 from the 44-yard line of the Sabers. And we'll have a new quarterback in there once again. It might be Kyle Donovan, and we will check to see who will run the offense now for the Sabers.
Obviously White wants to give it a go here, but, you have you're a playoff team right now as well. Yep. I mean, obviously you want to, win this game and, hopefully do well next week, but, you're headed for the Class A playoffs too.
Well, this lead right here is not safe. So
you see how quickly it could have turned around.
Yeah, so what's your best option? And right now you need a healthy quarterback in there, and Kyle Donovan will run the offense, and Donovan will look to hand it off, and the running play goes nowhere as Carbondale shuts it down at the line of scrimmage.
And that was Richardson. No gain on that play.
Guys, I keep saying it's been a bizarre night. You got a 5-0 score, and you got a quarterback wearing number 43.
Yeah. Yeah. When was the last time you saw that?
Charlie Connerly, number 42, I think he was.
Holy smokes, Glenn. You fired that right off like I set you up.
Holy cow. I'm an old Giant fan, though. Back in the days
Sammy
when
Ball was 42, too, wasn't he?
3rd down and long, and the handoff will go to Felter, and there goes Felter for a huge gain and a Saber 1st down into Charger territory at the 41.
1st down for Susquehanna.
Chain gang will move the markers on the far side of the field.
That is the big play for Susquehanna, whose offense was really stuck in the mud there for a while.
And that will bring an end to 3rd quarter action here at the Andrew J. Serra Sports Complex in Carbondale, with Susquehanna leading Carbondale area 5-0. The 4th quarter is on the way when we come back on Adams Cable High School Football.
Napa know-how. Napa know-how.
Looking for great prices and special offers on top quality parts and accessories? You'll find them at Napa Auto Parts. Visit Tonkin Auto Supply in Carbondale for great savings while supplies last. Only at Napa. Stop in and see Glenn, Garth, and the staff at Tonkin Auto Supply in Carbondale, your know-how folks.
Napa know-how. Napa know-how. Napa know-how. Napa know-how.
Insurance is more than just a policy. It's knowing that you are properly covered to protect all the assets you have worked so hard to acquire over the years. For over 50 years, McGovern Insurance has fulfilled the needs and expectations of families and businesses in the greater Carbondale area. McGovern Insurance Agency specializes in auto, home, commercial, and life insurance. Call for a competitive quote and superior service at 282-1170. Your protection comes first at McGovern Insurance Agency, 26th Avenue, Carbondale.
Now back to more action with Nick, Glenn, and Steve on Adams Cable High School Football.
Here we go with 4th quarter action in Carbondale, and the Susquehanna Sabers clinging to a 5-0 lead over the Carbondale area Chargers. 1st and 10 Sabers from the Carbondale 42. Donovan on a handoff, loose football. Let's wait for the official word, and Carbondale has it.
Wow, that's...
And the Carbondale Chargers
Ortiz
pick up the fumble. It'll be the offense takes over. 1st and 10 from the 42.
Big recovery for the Carbondale area Chargers as this game is up for grabs. Sabers trying to hang on to a 5-0 lead over the Chargers, and the Chargers gaining momentum We'll see if they can get their offense untracked right here. With the football, first down and 10 from their own 43. Here's Tallarico with a man in motion, Bolinas. Handoff will go to Sales, and he is hammered on the play. Just got to the line of scrimmage and then was drilled by the Susquehanna Saber defense. Zach Conrad, the linebacker, came in to help make the tackle.
Yep. Sales, he needs to get outside around that end, I think, to do some damage here tonight. He's struggling a little bit trying to get off tackle.
Well, Carbondale now will line up and face second down and 9. A tough 1 yard gain on the last play. From the 44, Larson comes in motion. Tallarico back to throw, fires downfield. No, it was almost intercepted by left cornerback Craig Stanley. That ball was up for grabs. And the incompletion will stop the clock with 11 minutes and 14 seconds left in the fourth quarter. And the Sabres up 5-0.
I like to see them sneak something similar to what they just ran. They've been bringing Larson in motion a lot, but I like to see them sneak a little tight end, either screen or a little route out here
behind the linebackers or out in the flat.
Just right out here in the flat. I mean, use them as a weapon. They've done it in the past.
Third down and 9, Carbondale area from its own 44-yard line. Now we have a whistle and a timeout call by Larry Gabriel III. With 11:14 left in the fourth quarter, Sabres 5, Carbondale nothing on Adams Cable High School Football.
Here's great news from Figlamini Drugstore in Carbondale that can save you money and make shopping for your prescriptions more convenient. Figlamini now has an $8.95 generic drug plan and free local delivery. Figlamini offers diabetic shoes, lift chairs, and home health supplies. That's what sets Figlamini apart from the chains. Locally owned and trusted since 1929. Stop in and see the difference for yourself at Figlamini Drugstore in Carbondale, where you're not just a number, you're family.
Back to the gridiron for more Adams Cable High School football.
With Glenn Muskowski, Nick Homick, I'm Steve Young. Great football game here in Week 9 in the Lackawanna Football Conference Division III between the Chargers and the Sabres. 11:14 left in the fourth quarter. Sabres hold a 5-0 lead over the Chargers. Carbondale looking at third down and 9.
Look at his
from
formation.
Its own 44. And it will be Tallarico to throw out to Jablanowski. He's going to fire it downfield, and it is caught by Larson. And there goes Larson, spun down at about the 17-yard line.
Now, not exactly what I had in mind, but I'll take it.
Pass complete to number 84, Christopher Larson.
How about that? And the Carbondale area Chargers now are knocking on the door. They have the momentum now in this football game. The Sabres have the lead, but the Chargers now down to the 16-yard line of Susquehanna with a first down. And here they come to the line of scrimmage as Tallarico will come up under center. And almost a fumble on the play, and it is a little pitch to the near side of the field, and that is Sales taking the football. So, guys, a lot of time left in this one. 10:40 on the clock here in the fourth. That big play from Carbondale really gave them a lot of momentum, and we'll see if they can keep this momentum going and take the football into the end zone. But they have had trouble against this Susquehanna Saber defense. It's been very good. Second in Division III behind Old Forge. First down and goal. And the football is at about the 14, I believe. And there goes Sales banging his way inside the 5-yard line.
First down.
That should be a first down, I believe. Yep.
Now I don't want to
inside the 5-yard line.
Get ahead of ourselves here. But if you're Carbondale and you score here, You go for the 1 or you go for the 2?
Well, that's a big call by Larry Gabriel. First, you have to get that score, but that will be a big
You see what my
big
point
decision.
is,
Yes.
You know, you obviously have a decent, a kid who can kick field goals from anywhere inside of 40 with ease. And a lot of time.
No, Carbondale area with the football, first down and goal from the Saber 5, trailing 5-0 with 10 minutes and 9 seconds left in the fourth.
Well, Steve, it really doesn't matter. I mean, if you kick 1 or you go for 2 and don't get it anyway, because a field goal is going to win it.
A field goal is going to win it, but a field goal can only tie it.
If you go for 2.
Right.
So I don't think there's any option there.
Yeah, I think you go for the 2.
But they have to get 1.
Right.
They have to
get
this
the
one
6 first.
Yes.
Yeah, because I'm looking across the way, and White is not going to come back in, I don't think. I'm seeing...
Is that him down the far end there, or is that the... Yeah, that's him.
That's him, but I'm seeing their other kid warming up still.
Tallarico will come up under center for Carbondale after the timeout. Sales in the backfield. Tallarico will hand pitch it to Sales, and Sales is dragged down at about the 5-yard line, right at the line of scrimmage. Good defensive pursuit by the Susquehanna Sabers. Christian Miller wearing number 59.
Second and goal.
Second and goal for Carbondale area. You know, guys, anytime these two teams get together, it's always a crazy, wild football game. I think back to the 80s when Susquehanna and Carbondale played. They played to an overtime game, and I think Jason Reed scored 7 touchdowns for Susquehanna. So anytime these two teams get together on a Friday night in high school football, you can expect fireworks. Sales takes the pitch, looks end zone, touchdown. And Carbondale area has a 1-point lead over Susquehanna, 6-5 with 9 minutes and 19 seconds left on the clock.
They're going to go for the 2. I like the call. That was all Bradley Sales, too.
Yes, it was.
That was all 2nd, 3rd, 4th, 5th, whatever you want to call it after that. You look like a human pinball.
Well, there was no denying Sales the end zone. And with Carbondale up 6-5, will we have another timeout? Let's find out.
Injury or equipment problem? I'm not sure.
Well, Eric Larson is coming onto the field, so evidently someone is shaken up.
This is like a baseball score, guys.
Well, I'll tell you what. What inning are we in? Speaking of baseball.
Any updates?
Who's in the World Series?
According to Glenn, the wrong Missouri team.
Well, I don't know about that because I watched the Cardinals play the Giants, and the Giants were destined to be in that World Series.
Right.
They did everything they did was right, and everything the Cardinals did, somehow it wasn't quite right.
Right.
The third baseman sticks the bat out. Sandoval hits the ball down the third base line. Hits one over, bloops one over the head of shortstop. They scored runs. The 20 runs they scored, 12 of the last ones came without a hit. Everything went right for them, and you got to kind of admit to the fact that it just wasn't the Cardinals' time. And I'll tell you, but this is a good baseball World Series because they both play baseball
right
the way it's supposed to be played.
Carbondale leading 6-5. They'll go for 2. Here is Sales into the end zone for the 2-point conversion. 8-5, Carbondale area with 9 minutes and 19 seconds left in the fourth quarter on Adams Cable High School Football. Your vehicle running safe and efficiently with complete automotive care by Jerry's Tire and Auto Service, Brooklyn Street, Carbondale. You can rely on Jerry's for minor repairs, wheel alignment, Pennsylvania safety inspection and emissions testing, brake service, oil changes, computer diagnostics, and brand name tires for a smooth ride. Stop in and see Jerry. Call 282-TIRE or visit their website, jerrystire@gmail.com. Jerry's Tire and Auto Service, Brooklyn Street, Carbondale.
The action continues from the 50-yard line with Nick, Glenn, and Steve on Channel 7 High School Football.
What a football game we have in Carbondale. 9 minutes and 19 seconds left, fourth quarter. Carbondale area leads Susquehanna 8-5, and Carbondale now will tee up the football and kick off to the Sabers. Well, it's been a wild one, there's no doubt about it.
It's just unbelievable, the things that are happening in this game.
Number 26, Jared Arndt, kicking off.
Jared Arndt will kick off for the Carbondale area Chargers. You can expect this one, if Jared is kicking, to go deep. Well, they're going to squib the kick, and it's going to be picked up by Stanley, and Stanley will run right into Marcus Ortiz, making the tackle for the Chargers.
Returns the punt.
Well, here we go, guys. You know, this is crazy enough to go to overtime tonight. It is. As Susquehanna will go to work from its own 43-yard line.
Who's in at quarterback? Yeah, here comes White.
He's going to give it a go.
First and 10 from the 43-yard line.
But if you're Carbondale, I wouldn't even factor him into the equation right now, unfortunately, for Susquehanna.
They've been giving that ball to that to that fullback, and he's been very successful.
Well, White now back in to run the offense, and he will hand it off, and there they go. And seems as though Susquehanna got off the ball very quickly that time, and they will take it into Charger territory for a first down.
Hauser on the carry for Susquehanna.
Well, their backs are up against the wall. Yeah. Let's see what they're made of now.
Picks up the first down.
Well, maybe a little more sense of urgency right now for the Susquehanna Sabers, trailing 8-5 with 8:59 left in the fourth quarter. Sabers will talk things over in the huddle right here as the football is spotted just outside the 40-yard line. Austin Darrow wide on the near side. White at the controls for the Sabers. Handoff will go to Hauser, and Hauser was tripped up on the play as he goes right up the middle.
Hauser's doing the bulk of their running this half, and he's hitting that line pretty quickly. I mean, he loses balance there. He's wide open.
Second and 7 from the 37.
Well, the clock now running as we near 8 minutes left in the fourth quarter. Carbondale up by 3, 8-5 over Susquehanna. Second and 7 for the Sabers from the Charger 37. Inside handoff, and there they go for another first down inside the 25-yard line.
This is what we expected to see from Susquehanna most of this game.
Yeah, they were just stagnant, running the offense, very sluggish, lethargic, and now with their backs against the wall, they seem to be firing off the line of scrimmage with much more intensity.
Maybe it was a rude awakening for Susquehanna.
First and 10 from the 24-yard line.
Well, here come the Sabers now with a new set of downs with 7:30 left in the fourth. Austin White will take the snap. He'll spin and hand it off to Hauser, and not too much there for Hauser as the Charger defense stacks him up.
Hauser on the carry.
But keep in mind, for Susquehanna, if they get relatively close.
He's getting close to his range right about now.
You know, Steve Jess already has a 37-yard field goal. They would want to come away with points right here. Second and 9 for Susquehanna from the 23. White with time, fires downfield. He's got a man inside the 5-yard line. Catch is good, and that was Felter. That was a laser from Austin White. And now Susquehanna is knocking on the door with the football inside the Carbondale 5-yard line.
You're right, Nick. This is what we should have expected from Susquehanna in this entire game.
First down and goal for the Sabres from the 4-yard line. White will hand it off, and they did not get into the end zone. So for the Susquehanna Sabres, they'll face a second down play as Carbondale area shuts it down. 8-5 your score if you're just tuning in. Just about 6 minutes left in the football game. Carbondale up by 3. And the Sabres knocking on the door. Second down and goal from the 3-yard line for Susquehanna. Here's the handoff. Last man through. No, the Chargers deny the Sabres the end zone. So Susquehanna continues to pound away at this Carbondale defense. And you have to be impressed with the defensive play here tonight by Carbondale area.
I'm totally impressed with Carbondale's effort this entire
Overall.
game. Absolutely.
Clock running with 5:22 left in the fourth. And here come the Sabres on third down and goal from the 3. It is White. He'll keep and go forward. Nope. Didn't get it. Trying to, was the ball loose?
I think he was just trying to crawl into the end zone.
Yeah, once his knee touched the turf, he was down, so.
Play the ball game.
Big play right here with 4:52 left. Guys, what do? You haven't had any real success in short yardage situations against the Chargers. Do you bring in Steve Jess to tie it?
Well, I go for the field goal. Looks like they're not.
I could see them running that sweep that they did before the one that got called back on the touchdown.
Nope.
Taking a lot of time.
Here is White.
They call timeout anyway.
And they will take a timeout, and we're keeping it right here with 4:15 left in the fourth quarter, and the Chargers up 8-5. Like to thank all of the great people for making tonight's broadcast possible. Nick's Excavating and Paving of Carbondale, Redden's Drug Stores of Halstead and Susquehanna, where you always get personalized service, by Main Street Sunoco of Carbondale, Tom's Floor Shop of Childs, Beston's Body Shop and Collision Center Carbondale, NJS Systems and Controls, Route 6 Mayfield. Thanks to Lawrence A. Gabriel Funeral Homes of Carbondale, by your Napa Auto Parts Store, Tonkin Auto Supply of Carbondale, the White's Crossing Sports Shop, Fig Lamini Drug Store, Carbondale, locally owned and trusted since 1929. Tonight's game also brought to you by McGovern Insurance Agency of Carbondale, Jerry's Tire and Auto Service of Carbondale, and of course, your starting lineups brought to you today by the legendary downtown landmark in Carbondale, the Roselle Department Store. 4:15 left in the football game. 8-5 Carbondale. Key play in the game. Fourth down and goal from the 2 for the Susquehanna Sabres. And here they come to the line of scrimmage. Well, guys, this is what you play football for.
This is it.
This is it right here. And here come the Sabres to the line of scrimmage quickly. White will take the snap. He will hand it off, and they will knock it into the end zone. Carbondale's defense rises to the occasion, and they deny the Sabres the touchdown. And Carbondale will take over possession of the football with 4 minutes and 8 seconds remaining.
Now Carbondale needs to hold on to that football.
Well, what they need to do is, first of all, protect the football, as you mentioned, but they need to get a first down because you can't go 3 and out right here and give Susquehanna another shot.
And then kick punting out of their own end zone also.
We've seen the punting adventures this evening.
This has been a thriller, and another timeout on the field, and we'll keep it right here. So, guys, week number 9. You take a look at Susquehanna coming into this ball game. They're rolling after the big win over the Lackawanna Trail Lions by the score of 34-19, putting up huge numbers in that game. But a couple of key players. Brett Hepler not in the lineup here tonight. Austin White banged up, not at 100% after he got banged up in this football game. And Carbondale area taking an 8-5 lead, and it's coming right down to the wire.
Yeah, take nothing away from Carbondale's effort on defense tonight. I mean, White, unfortunately, is not 100% here in the second half, but he was in the first half.
Sure. But Susquehanna never really able to generate that high-powered offense that they've had this season.
It was like the rubber band defense, bend, but don't break for Carbondale. But now they have to move the football a little bit.
I don't think you're going to see too many double passes here in this offensive set. I could be wrong, though.
Well, it will be Tallarico to run the offense. They'll play it safe and give it to Sales, and Sales will just take the football out to about the 9-yard line.
Sales in the carry for Carbondale.
And if you're Carbondale right here, you want to take as much time off the clock as you can. You don't have a play clock here, but you have to try to take a lot of time off the clock between plays, shorten the game. Key for Carbondale right here is if you get a first down. They need a first down.
Yeah, and Susquehanna's down to what, 2 timeouts? Or did they burn 2?
Glenn will try to check that out.
They burned 1 for sure.
2nd and 6 from the 9 for the Chargers. And once again, it will be Sales, and there he goes. Sales up across the 40, and
Not
he
gonna
may
catch
go
him.
all the way. One man to beat, and he will go all the way for the touchdown.
Wow.
14-5, Carbondale area with 3 minutes and 8 seconds left.
That was phenomenal. And once he got in the open field, there was no one catching him.
That was 91 yards.
Yes, it was. I was just going to say that.
91 yards for Brad Sales. Folks, we talked about it. You're looking at a preview of the future. Jared Arendt, who has 12 extra points on the season, will try for number 13, but there's a flag.
Yeah, this is an exclamation point win for this season. This is almost a championship game for them. Carbondale's obviously not going to any playoffs.
What do we have here?
Legal motion.
Well, the officials will sort things out.
When's the last time Carbondale's helped Will Forge up?
Encroachment.
Coach Schuback, he sent Coach Gabriel a gift basket this week.
Yeah.
He's delivered him a Division III title.
He'll send him some Old Forge pizza. That's what he's going to send him. Arendt's kick. No doubt. 15-5, Carbondale with 3 minutes and 8 seconds left in the fourth quarter here on Adams Cable High School Football.
Everyone is looking for ways to save money today. The total home packages from Adams Cable Service are a great way to do that. Starting at $66.99 per month, you get cable, high-speed internet, and unlimited phone service. You are probably paying that much for one service right now. Call Adams Cable Service today and ask about the total home packages with cable, internet, and phone starting at $66.99 per month. Adams Cable Service has a package to meet your needs, and it's the smartest way to save money. Call Adams today.
Now back to more action with Nick, Glenn, and Steve on Adams Cable High School Football.
Welcome back to the Andrew J. Serra Sports Complex in Carbondale. Upset in the making here in week number 9 as the Carbondale area Chargers have a 15-5 lead over the Susquehanna Sabers. 3 minutes and 8 seconds left in fourth quarter action.
Steve, I don't think I'm kicking the ball deep here. I'm kicking it just beyond the front line here, and 2 scores in 3 minutes. That's take some time off the clock to get one here.
Jared Arndt with the kickoff. It's going to be a line drive kick bouncing around, picked up at the 20 by Felter, and Felter is dropped for no return.
There's a flag. A late push by someone from Susquehanna.
Yeah, that's frustration.
Yeah, that's all it is. Now you think Coach Gabriel would like to put about 22 guys on the defense, 11 guys on the line, 11 guys in the backfield.
I'll tell you, that 3-3-5 defense that he came up with really worked well here tonight.
He's a good numbers man, too.
Sure he is.
I think somebody needs to cut the speakers up here.
Yeah.
Before we're all getting zapped in the
Folks,
next week.
it's not fireworks. Okay. So Susquehanna now will start this drive from about the 11-yard line, first down and 10, as they trail 15-5. They never really did get untracked in this ball game. White out of the gun, back to throw, fires downfield and overthrows his intended receiver, Brady Towner, to stop the clock with 2:55 left. Well, for Susquehanna, if they can't come back and win this football game and it doesn't look good, they'll go into the Old Forge football game next week. And of course, Old Forge has to defeat Holy Cross, but the best that Susquehanna could really hope for is to try to knock off Old Forge. And boy, this really throws that Division III out of whack, because everyone was looking forward to a Susquehanna Old Forge showdown. Two undefeated teams for Division III, but a little pass out to the near side is complete to Hauser.
Complete to number 24.
Yeah, and Susquehanna really is in the Class A playoffs with only 4 teams there.
Sure.
It's just a matter of they're going to have a home game or they're going to have to go to Lackawanna Trail. Because even if Susquehanna beats Old Forge next week, Old Forge is still locked in as that 1 seed.
Right. 2:49 left, first down and 10 from the 21-yard line for the Susquehanna Sabers. This Carbondale area defense has really played well in this football game. They didn't get rattled. They got down 2-0. They got down 5-0. Pass out on the far side of the field, complete for first down. And finally, Susquehanna Sabers come up with a big play.
Your Carbondale here, you'll give up those sort of plays. You just don't want to give up the touchdowns right now.
Number 5, Nico.
But you got to keep him in bounds.
Yeah, absolutely.
Stop for Carbondale.
Carbondale, if they can hang on here tonight, and they got Mid-Valley coming in next week, who's obviously not having the kind of season they would hope to have. A couple of key injuries. I understand Tom Massetti's not 100% either.
Yeah, he's been banged up, missing a few games.
Carbondale could put together 3 out of their last 4 here.
Right.
Really a lot to build on for next
Pass
season.
out to Darrow is complete, and he will tiptoe out of bounds to stop the clock with 2.5 minutes left in the football game, and Carbondale leading 15-5. So it's been a wild one here in Carbondale, no doubt about it. And it started off with Jason Jablonowski taking the opening kickoff all the way down to the Saber 11, and then Carbondale didn't score. Sabres got the early lead on a safety, 2-0. And this pass is intercepted by the Carbondale area Chargers.
That's
And that
Sales.
is Sales coming up with the big interception, so he scores the touchdown and then comes up with the interception with 2:19 left.
He's done it all for them tonight.
Well, he certainly has, and kudos to him because he has played hard all year, done a great job for them, for the mighty might that he is. He is playing very big tonight for sure.
Well, you have to give a lot of credit to the Carbondale area coaching staff, as they had the Chargers prepared for this football game.
And the good thing is Coach Gabriel doesn't have to look like a goat. Little inside joke, but he said either he's going to look like a genius or a goat. So kudos to him and his staff. They really did a great job, and they kept on their kids, and they believed them right to the end here.
Totally different team from opening night, guys. As Carbondale will just keep the football on the ground and work the clock now as the clock is nearing 2 minutes left in the fourth quarter. Yeah, when you took a look at this young football team on opening night, you knew that they had a long road ahead in the season, but boy, here in week number 9, much improved football team. They gained a lot of confidence. They buy into what Larry Gabriel III is teaching them, and it's beginning to pay dividends. You saw it last week against Old Forge, and now here tonight against Susquehanna.
Well, you knew they were going to take their lumps this year. But
Sure.
when you now look back at it, at the losses they have, they lost to Hanover area, who's a potential playoff team in AA.
Ooh, look at that. Look at the ball down the other end of the field down there.
I know.
Yeah, the play, the whistle had already blown, so.
Hey, Steve. We have a lady in here. She wants to know if you'd like to interview the Carbondale area coach's mother after the game.
We can interview her right now. Now she got Mike shy. She said no.
There's a proud mother, without question.
She should be.
And with another thing, way back when, she was the fan of all fans.
Does she have the number one fan costume on?
She was. I think she ran out of costumes.
Well, the victory formation right here by the Chargers with 48 seconds left, and the countdown will begin as they lead it 15-5. So we're down to 39 seconds, folks, and congratulations to the Carbondale area Chargers and head coach Larry Gabriel III. Had the Chargers well prepared for this football game. And the clock now down to 23 seconds, and Carbondale area will pick up its 3rd win of the season and improve their overall mark to 3 wins and 6 losses. They are now 2-2 in Division III, while Susquehanna will fall to 6-3, and they are now 3-1 in Division III play. As the final, well, we have 10 seconds now left on the clock, and Larry Gabriel III call a timeout, bring his football team over to the near side of the field. So what a ball game we've had here tonight, guys. This was a dandy, as this will be our last Carbondale broadcast of the season, and what a way to go out here on Channel 7 for the last Carbondale game, as they will upset Susquehanna here tonight by the score of 15-5.
And you can't say enough of the effort that the entire Carbondale squad put together today, from the coaching staff right down to the last player on the roster. They've done it all. It was a team effort. Everybody, they were all excited at the sideline. They just played their hearts out, and I'll tell you what, it is something to build on for the future, because there's a lot of freshmen and sophomores out there playing a lot of good football.
Yeah, and against an experienced Susquehanna team who's very senior-laden, you know, this is something to hang your hat on and build on for the future.
Exactly.
So one more play to go. 4th down, all Tallarico has to do is he will hand it off, and Sales will be spun down with 4 seconds left.
Score, Carbondale 15, Susquehanna 5.
No, that's not gonna. It's not gonna stop. It's not gonna. This.
And that is going to do it as the Carbondale area Chargers.
We got 3 seconds on the clock, I think.
Well, did hear a whistle with about 3 seconds left. Let's let the officials sort this out.
Well, because the ball changes possession, the clock has to stop.
Yeah. Sure. So Susquehanna actually will take over possession of the football.
Kind of a moot point right now.
Right, with 3 seconds left, trailing 15-5 at the 42-yard line. Well, here come the Sabres to the line of scrimmage, as they will have one more shot. And back to throw will be Donovan. Donovan, well, he's going to run. Time has expired and game is over, and Carbondale has upset Susquehanna by the score of 15-5. So a lot of happy Chargers down on the football field. And congratulations to head coach Larry Gabriel III and the coaching staff as they pull one of the biggest upsets of the year as they defeat the Susquehanna Sabers here tonight 15-5.
Well, one more game, Nick, as you said, with Mid-Valley. Could be. Mid-Valley's, I don't know what they're doing tonight, but they haven't won a game yet. But if they can pull off another win next week, a 4-6 record for a team that's
difference.
Laden with freshmen and sophomores and inexperienced, but I can't say inexperienced now the way they play this game.
No, they grew up in a hurry.
Yes, they did.
Yeah, and like you said, like I was saying a little bit before, like look at their 5 losses. They're all playoff teams. Dunmore, Hanover, Lackawanna Trail, Old Forge. I mean, you know, they don't really have a terrible loss. And Holmesdale is a potential, playoff team as well. So, congratulations to the Chargers and Susquehanna. I just hope everybody gets healthy. If not for next week, at least for the playoffs.
Well, Susquehanna next week will host Old Forge, and Old Forge will have the Holy Cross Crusaders coming up. And for the Susquehanna Sabres, they're definitely down. They were looking forward to winning this football game here tonight and going up against the Old Forge Blue Devils if they defeated Holy Cross, and that would have been for the Division III championship game, but it was not to be as Carbondale played an outstanding football game, and they virtually shut down Susquehanna tonight.
Yes, they did.
They really did.
And you could. It was a team effort, but the game ball has to go to Brad Sales. He did it all today. He was fantastic. He scored the winning. He had one called back. He ran another one in. He got the second one for 91 yards. He intercepted the pass. He did it all. But again, on the heels of a great team effort.
So that is going to wrap it up here at the Andrew J. Serra Sports Complex in Carbondale as the Chargers pull the upset over the Susquehanna Sabres 15-5. We'll be on the air for our next and final broadcast of the season coming up 1 week from tonight when the Western Wayne Wildcats will take on the Lakeland Chiefs up at Lakeland Stadium. We'll be on the air at 6:45 with all of the action here on Channel 7. For Glenn Muskowski and Nick Homick, I'm Steve Young. Till next time, so long from Carbondale.
Today's presentation of Adams Cable High School football between the Carbondale Area Chargers and the Susquehanna Sabers was brought to you by Adams Cable Service, Nick's Excavating and Paving Carbondale, Redden's Drug Stores of Halstead and Susquehanna, by Main Street Sunoco Carbondale, Tom's Floor Shop, Main Street Childs, Beston's Body Shop and Collision Center Carbondale, NJS Systems and Controls Route 6 Mayfield. Carbondale Area versus Susquehanna is also brought to you by Lawrence A. Gabriel Funeral Homes, with locations at 74 North Main Street and 2 Hospital Street, Carbondale. By your Napa Auto Parts Store, Tonkin Auto Supply, Carbondale. White's Crossing Sports Shop. Fig Lamini Drugstore, Carbondale, locally owned and trusted since 1929. McGovern Insurance Agency, Carbondale. Jerry's Tire and Auto Service, Carbondale. Your starting lineups are brought to you by Roselle Department Store, Carbondale. Next week from Lakeland Stadium, join us for the regular season finale when the Lakeland Chiefs take on the Western Wayne Wildcats here on Adams Cable Channel 7.